Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Welcome back for another video. This video is going to be an interesting one. We're going to dive into some controversial stuff. You guys know Silver Slayer. His middle name is Mr. Controversial because I love covering stuff that has a lot of gray area. You know, everything's not so black and white. I like jumping on both sides of the coin, pun intended, and really just figuring out what's going on. We have an article talking about the truth about the so-called silver squeeze, looking at this more from a negative light, and you can tell by the quote-unquote so-called silver squeeze. And here's the thing. People have to dive a little deeper before they just deem something a certain way. You can't go by the headlines, right? Everyone thinks Wall Street silver is just a group of kids or a group of people that's just trying to buy a whole bunch of silver, then dump it as soon as the price goes up, and they know nothing about silver. And that's so far from the truth. Wall Street Silver, they have 80,000 members, and these guys are genuine silver stackers. They're not planning on selling. These are real stackers that have a genuine passion for silver. And you meet so many people on here. I call it the Facebook for silver stackers. There's so much stuff to do on here. They just sent me a 10-ounce Wall Street silver bar to give away to one of my subscribers. I mean, it really is a beautiful community, gaining thousands of members a day. This is exactly what silver needed, right? Because the silver market's very small, and this is the perfect thing that could have happened at the perfect time. It really is. It's so fun. It's so fun to be on here. They have a lot of memes, you know, so it's like it adds a fun layer of things too that's funny. You know, you get to laugh on here as well. It's a beautiful thing. And here's the thing. Regardless, there probably is some people that just want to buy silver and get rich, but that's not even the point, right? The point is that thousands of people are hearing about silver a day. And that is planting all these seeds that are saving people's lives financially. Not even just financially, literally, because when you have all your hard-earned money pegged in fiat and fiat crashes, then your financial future crashes as well with it. So I just wish people would, and I'm sure if people would look on here and actually see what's going on. They have a lounge. They have here, I'll show you. Where's the lounge at? Let's go back. Here's the live lounge. So you can go in this lounge and hang out with hundreds of stackers and talk in real time. Just talk with people all day long. It's live. And it's just a beautiful thing. Like, and there's all, you know, tons of different, you know, questions you can ask, or you can help people answer questions and post videos or links to articles. That's a beautiful thing, right? This is, and for someone to look at it from a negative light, they're missing the entire point. They really are. It's not about trying to do a silver raid or squeeze the market. It's really building a huge community of silver stackers. We are a community that loves silver, period. Couldn't have explained it any better. So I just wanted to give that context because I hate when people just go by titles or just assume something without actually looking into it. Because these people are just the ones that it's the Wall Street bet guys just now trying to move over to silver. And that's not the case. If they would go on there and actually look and see what's going on, you would see the bigger picture. But anyways, I want to jump into this. So sorry, I'm gonna try not to have a biased opinion either, right? I really don't want to. And this the hardest thing about this video or doing this video is because it is on a podcast, but they do have the transcript. So I'm gonna try my best to go through the transcript, read some of the main points they're making, and then I'm gonna try to give some, just some of my input on it and insight. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I do also need you guys to like this video, comment, and share. I haven't been able to make a video for a couple days. I was taking care of my mom. She got out of the hospital because she had breast cancer, so she had the surgery yesterday. So I had to take like 4 days off. And the YouTube algorithm, since I didn't post for 4 days, my videos are going to get basically just shut down. That they're not going to generate many views. The videos aren't going to be promoted or anything. So liking, commenting, and sharing the video will help the views. It'll help keep the video alive, and I would appreciate that a lot. So anyways, let's jump into this. So the precious metals blogosphere has been lit up with the Silver Squeeze story. Building on the momentum of the Reddit-born retail trade warriors made famous by squeezing the shorts and GameStop Wall Street Silver channel was created. And that's how it was created, but that's not the point anymore. That's how it was created, but now you have thousands of people coming that genuinely just like silver, right? You have to think a little deeper before you go off something. They have a YouTube channel as well where they post a lot of interviews and stuff like that. But that's how it started. But that doesn't mean that that's what it is, right? You could say that about so many different things. And you know and here's the thing, too, is gaining thousands of people a day. Think about if they gained 80,000 members in a couple months. Think about in like 6 months from now, or a year from now. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of members on here. Silver is going to be such a bigger topic, and so many more people are going to know about it. And also think about when they do the silver raids, right? The first silver squeeze, everyone says it failed. That wasn't a failure. In 3 days, they shot silver up hundreds of percent. It went up to nearly $30 in 3 days. And that was when they only had like 20,000 members or something. I mean, it's not even about that though. Like, I don't know. I try to see the bigger picture. I try to see the good in things, and we're all on the same team. Anyone who's stacking silver should love that. Should love that people are starting to stack. I mean, that's why I post videos for the last 6 years trying to convince people to stack. So they're doing that at a massively alarming rate. That's a beautiful thing, right? So anyways, sorry, I try to bring the reality to the situation, because I hate when people just think they know it all and try to say stuff like this without knowing what's really going on. So nonetheless, a group of maintains the silver squeeze isn't over. Rather, it's only just the beginning, with another squeeze attempted earlier this month. This time feels different, with allegations and accusations being leveled at notable precious metal companies, not at big banks. What's going on? As Keith provides some answers in this last episode, which covers: is there really a global shortage of silver as many claim? Why did no one cover the toilet paper Ponzi scheme? What do coffee shop lattes and 1 ounce silver eagles have in common? The difference between unallocated precious metal account and fractional reserve banking. So if you wanted to listen to the podcast, I'll post a link in the description, but here's the transcript. So let's just go into this. So this guy, welcome to Gold Exchange podcast, CEO of Monetary Metals, that we're going to discuss a topic, has dominated precious metals headlines in recent months: silver squeeze. Accusations of fraud and deceit aimed at the world's largest institutions in the space, including probably most notably Perth Mint. A few members of our audience, concerned by the severity of these claims, wrote to us to get Keith's take on the situation. They're talking about the LBMA report, which is like, it was 1.15 billion ounces, but they only stated 1.14 billion. So, it seems small, but it's actually a big deal. But anyways, Keith wrote an article talking about the truth about the silver squeeze. I also covered that video. Accusation, as I understand it, basic claim people are calling in places like Perth Mint or other institutions where they have gold on deposit and requesting delivery of their metal. And when they are met with response that includes significant delays, delivery times are naturally a bit upset, and then the word Ponzi starts to appear in the headline. So you start your article by invoking 8th grade sniff test, as it were. Please walk us through. So the first thing I wanted to say: a year ago, people walked into the grocery store and expected delivery of toilet paper and didn't get it. Did anyone think the toilet paper was a Ponzi scheme? So sometimes it's impossible to overwhelm. See, this isn't the point. So yes, there's going to be delays if you're trying to, especially if you have your stuff, if you're investing into it digitally. That's why we just buy it on AppMix and play. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. So I don't believe in ETFs or any of that stuff. But um, so I coined the term, called engineers in the conference room, and coined the term sniff test. From now on, before we send anything, we're going to give it a base sniff test, and that includes making sure the version of the client is compatible with the version of the server. So broadly, so they're just basically trying to figure out, if people even are, what they're doing or know what they're investing into. So, anyways, I don't see why they're just trying to use. Okay, so anyways, sorry, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the gist of this, because so we're not in business, don't only deal with metal, but nobody has, which is kind of ironic. So maybe it's more fun to trap from the rumors that people are actually that desperate to get their hands on silver. So you alluded to earlier the distinction between retail silver market, which is coins, typical products offered at dealer level, or institutional silver market for 1,000 ounce bars. You often draw an analogy using coffee market. Why don't you walk us through this parallel? So let's hear what he has to say. Yes, let's say you live in a generic city. You work in a downtown area, and the city is just busy imposing regulations after regulations after regulation. They said, well, you can only load between 2 and 3 a.m. And then they have a labor ordinance that says, well, after midnight, you have to pay workers double time. And then there's some other ordinance that says, well, you have a minimum of 3 workers on shift. And then something else about the size of trucks allowed. And pretty soon your local coffee shop be able to get their supplies. It's costing them thousands of dollars a day in expense to load something previously would have cost $100. Then there'd be the one guy opening the back door. Okay, put the pallet here. Okay, we're good. And then let's say on top of that there's aggressive zoning and food, fire, health, safety, all these different things. Now we're closing down to 2/3 of the coffee shop, and then a few remaining ones line up the door. So the price of coffee, you want to buy that double mocha latte, whatever trendy drink you prefer, you find that the price has gone to whatever $15. You say, oh my God, inflation. Well, that's a whole separate topic. And then if somebody were trading coffee market the way they think of gold and silver market, somebody would say, well, there's a shortage of coffee. So, Keith, I think the main feature of the accusation has to do with allocate. See, no, this is the most BS crap. Have they been looking at the numbers? Has he looked at the Silver Institute's numbers? They don't lie. Have you looked at the U.S. Mint running out of silver American Eagles last year, having to make an emergency 1 million minted supply at the end of the year from the San Francisco Mint to make up for that? Have you looked at anything going around? Are you looking forwards at the amount of silver that's going to be needed for the green energy revolution, 5G towers, electric vehicles? The amount of silver that's going to be needed for solar panels? Have you looked at any of that? Just wondering. I'm just wondering, have you looked at silver scarcity? How silver is actually more rare than gold, and silver is a byproduct? I mean, if you're just looking at it from this very small perspective and not adding any of the other context, then you're not making a very strong point. So you're saying that since American Eagles have a $15 premium now, it's not the shortage, it's everything and above. There's so many other variables than just you. Yes, some of that probably is true, but there's so many variables to this. That's why there's so much gray area. That's why it's so controversial. And yes, squeezing the silver market, thousands of people buying silver on a certain day is definitely going to squeeze it. But not only that, you have industrial side of things with the green energy, all these industrial, applications for silver used in everything that's going to be needed. And then you have individual investors like you and I, Wall Street Silver, also buying up a lot of physical silver. So you literally have everyone and everything needing silver, trying to get a slice of the silver pie. But silver is hard to dig out of the ground. And actually, for the last 7 years, they've been cutting back silver production by hundreds of millions of ounces. Silver is found by accident. It's a byproduct. They're not looking for silver out of the ground. They're digging up gold, lead, and zinc. If they find some silver, they're taking it, but they're not looking for it. So tell me all that, and then tell me, It just doesn't make sense. And most silver that gets dug up is thrown away. Gold is recycled, remelted, rescrapped, reused because it's profitable. People are going to go through their grandma's gold drawer and pawn it. People are going to even scrap gold out of laptops and cell phones. I've done that. Silver, though, they're not going to. Plus, silver's an industrial metal, so it's used in all the stuff that gets thrown away. It's not recycled. It's not resurfacing. So yes, it comes out of the ground 8 to 1, but it's actually smaller because that 1 ounce of gold is going to be recycled, but the 8 ounce of silver is most likely going to get thrown away. So you have to incorporate all that when you're, I mean, the amount of just, oh man, I don't know. Sorry, I just kind of went off a tangent. It's just, and then they're trying to make it sound like they're stupid. They don't quite understand unallocated. It's, I don't know. This is the difference between like silver ETFs and like true silver stackers. So they somehow end up with every ounce has been fraudulently sold 100 times over. That was actually an article written and is actually 1,000 times over. But regardless, that was a real article. I actually covered it on my channel. I forget who wrote it, but you can find it. Now, fractional reserves is a concept that applies on banking, whatever one might argue. It's about selling. It's not like you have inventory that you fraudulently oversold. So that's confusion there. But and they actually very thoroughly covered what they meant by that in the article. But and they meant or finally have unallocated accounts. And this guy must be a silver ETF pusher, looking more to the digital side, because you can see he thoroughly doesn't really like physical metal. So if you think about business, let's say somebody vertically integrated person, although I don't really want to speak specifically, you have to vertically integrate operation buying ore. So concentrated metal comes from miners and you're melting it and dissolving in a chemical. You're putting it through all these processes to produce grain. You're melting in grain, casting the bars, blah, blah, blah. Minted and you have a prize weight. So all your production process, there's a certain amount of gold that's always there. I mean, every day you're buying more and every day you're shipping finished product, but there's always a certain amount of pipeline between unallocated. Some metal, it's not there's in the metal to back the claims of those allocated account holders. Some metal is not in the form of bar serial numbers sitting on the shelf. Your metal's anywhere somewhere between, and that's exactly why I always say if you can't hold it, you don't own it. But he's still going more into the first account of that, you know, 0.1 billion ounces that the LBMA didn't claim. So, I think commercial size lot 35 pounds, blah, 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 shortest coffee. See, they're missing the point. Just because LBMA even said that, that's so irrelevant to the bigger picture, right? I hate when people look at things from such a small point of view and miss the entire picture, right? There's a saying, actually, we miss the beauty of the forest because we are diverted to the ugliness of its trees. And that saying just kind of stuck out to me. It's actually one of my favorite sayings. But caught up in casino action, solution, antidote to dollar, they buy some more, what do they want? Want it to go up. So the term find source of the promise them, yeah, it's going to go up. Buying silver today, sure, $27. Let me tell you, it's going to be 27,000 next week. Who's saying that? Like, why is he? Silver is going to be a higher price, but just because I said it's a higher price doesn't mean it's going to be $27,000 next week. Actually, silver's not even going to be $100 next month, not next year. It took 3 years from silver to go to $8 in 2008 to $50 in 2011. It's nobody's saying it's going to go to 27,000 next week, and if he's or even $100 next week. No, it's going to take a long time. See, if you are someone who thinks that silver is going to explode to any of those levels, even $100 in next week or next month, you're wrong. I hate to tell you this, but you're wrong, and you're probably in it for the wrong reason. I don't plan on selling my silver for 15 plus years. So I don't even want the price to go high anytime soon. If it does, then I can't buy as much silver to make as much profit then. And most of us aren't even going to be selling our silver for fiat. We're saving it to pass it down, because why would you transfer fake money to real money and then transfer that real money back to fake money? It doesn't make sense. But it's just, see, he's just stereotyping Wall Street silver in the wrong light. And it's a very messed up thing to do, because it's almost, he's coming, it's just, it's so messed up, and it's not right. So would it be a fair question that anyone is bringing these accusations if they're affiliated with a bullion dealer? And where is anyone saying, where's anyone saying this? Is anyone saying that silver is about to be $27,000? Like, most of these people understand the value of the dollar, and they're investing into it for future generational wealth. Like, I don't see anyone talking about $1,000 silver or even $100 silver. They're talking about how they buy 100 ounces of silver. It's just like, stacking makes me feel good. Genuine people that just love silver. Do you see anyone on here talking about silver's about to be $27,000? No. These are people that are silver stackers like me and you. 27 trillion in debt, the United States, unlimited supply cap, 25% of minted in the last 6 months, 1% is 30%. That's the US dollar. Like, and here's the thing. Everyone on this site knows the dollar's value, so they're investing as a hedge. They're not investing as a pump and dump. That's what this guy is trying to make it seem. Stackaholic. These people aren't just buying silver. They have sentimental purpose like you and I. So it really just pisses me off that this guy is just stereotyping all these people that they don't love silver. They don't care about silver. They're just trying to dump it. And yeah, $50 silver. I talk about that all day. Silver was $50 not even 10 years ago. 2011, it's 2021. 10 years ago, silver was $50. So if anyone's talking about $50 silver, that's relevant, especially since back in 2008 to 2011 was nowhere near as severe as today's time. So it's so stupid. Keep stacking. Keep stacking. Like, invest in physical inflation. Like, sorry guys, this just pisses me off. Like, this guy is such a stereotypical a-hole. Like, he's missing the entire point and just dogging a group of people that enjoy stacking silver. It makes them feel good, protecting their wealth. No, they're just people trying to buy silver right now and then sell it next week when it's $27,000. Like, where the hell? Like, is he confusing this with Bitcoin? I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. What do you think about this? You guys can actually listen to the podcast, maybe get a better idea of the tone. And that's the thing I hate about when you're reading something. Just like texting. I hate texting people because you can't tell the tone, and people think, or things get taken out of context, and you could say something and then the other person thinks you're saying it a completely different way, and then it starts an argument or whatever. Like, if you were on the phone, I bet the vibe would have went a much different way. So maybe he's saying this more with a sarcastic gesture, like when he says the 27,000 thing. Who knows? But if you want to check it out, the link will be in the description. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Like I said, like this video, comment, share the crap out of this video, because it's going to be harder for me to generate views. My videos will do well since I haven't posted in a couple of days, so yeah, I'd appreciate it. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, probably more on the entertaining side, make sure to smash the like button. I post daily videos, lots of giveaways, so yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.